photos that I've taken with the camera. So I'm just going to tell you what's been going on. And then I've been trying to keep up our video blog on our trip, but we've been having some difficulty with the Wi-Fi. So I'm back in Oaxaca right now, getting close to the end of our trip, but I wanted to update you on what's been going on. When I last left you, we were, I think, on our way to Oaxaca, and we were on the bus and getting ready to experience a little bit of Oaxaca. When we got here, we weren't happy with our hotel, and we picked up a car the next day and actually drove all the way to Veracruz, which wasn't the direction we thought we were going to go. We thought we were going to go down to the Pacific coast, but instead we went straight across to the Atlantic coast, and that was kind of fun. We stayed in a place called the Clipperton, but it was actually really the Lipperton because the C was missing. This place was actually a nice hotel, but it was in an area of town that has seen better days. And I think Veracruz suffered a flooding situation or some kind of mild earthquake or something, because there was a pile of rubble in front of the hotel and kind of all around there. It was a little strange, but we were able to still have some good food. We had some tacos that night, and it was actually kind of nice. Before we left Veracruz, we saw the number one attraction, which was this coffee place where they pour the milk in from really high up, sort of like in Morocco, the way they do the mint tea. So that was kind of neat. And Santa showed up, so it helped to remind us that Christmas is happening. And then we looked at a map and we thought we'd like to check out this place. It was on the northern eastern coast, so still Atlantic Caribbean. And we just looked at a Google review and said, let's go for it. And we drove all the way to this northern coast. The road got worse and worse as we went.
Just gotta watch out for the potholes. The sun is playing tricks on the road. You can't really tell what's a shaft of sunlight and what's a divot. So we have to go nice and slow. But Jameen is a champ.
Yeah, we still don't know where we're going, and we don't have any bars, so we can't even call the hotel to see if they have room for us or anything. But we're just still going with our guts, and we're gonna head up here. But it's beautiful.
Let's just call it faith. But I know Jameen's going to be able to do it. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay. Slow. Our next challenge on the road here is how we're going to get through this. I'm just glad it's a rental. I'm hoping undamaged. And now we're going on this what appears to be like a cobblestone road.
That turns into a dirt road.
It turns into a dirt road, okay.
Oh my god. And we finally made it to this seaside resort that, again, was way worse than Veracruz. We drove a really long way, and this is the hotel. I'm not sure we're gonna stay here. It was pretty much non-existent. The roads were awful. As soon as we got there, we realized we weren't going to be able to stay there, and we had to turn around. So we ended up doing one of the things that they say you're never supposed to do in Mexico, which is drive at night. And potholes and turning roads, and I won't say the drivers were crazy, because actually the drivers were pretty reasonable, but there's speed bumps everywhere. So something about the highway so far is there are a lot of stops. You have to stop for a variety of reasons, some planned, some unplanned. This is a bridge repair, but also a minor crash, according to the Waze app. And I think we're going to see there's a bit of an accidente up ahead. But here we've got the bridge repair. But then also an accident that apparently is only minor, according to the app. See, they drive so they let you pass, But then they do this. C'est pas bon. C'est pas bien. Pas bonne. Oh my. Oh dear. That was said minor. I feel like that's more major. Hidden speed bumps. They come at you. They jump out of nowhere. It's really dangerous. Anyway, we were gonna make it to some, I don't know, Salina Cruise or something, but there was just no way. So we stopped in this little town called Akayakan. The hotel was fine. The only problem with it was it overlooked a parking lot, it kind of internal parking lot. But besides that, actually the hotel was fine. The town was really vibrant. We went through the market the next day. It was warm. The food was good. We had a nice time, but it was time to leave. So we got out of there and drove straight down to the Pacific coast. And I didn't even tell you guys about what happened when we first got the car. Okay, so there's a lot of toll roads in Mexico, and our first toll, the toll operator wasn't there because it had been taken over by a bunch of protesters who were demanding money, and it was like our first half hour in the car, and we had guys, kind of banging at the window asking for money. We didn't give them any money because we thought we were going to give it to the toll booth collector, but then it turns out the toll booth collector wasn't there. And the tolls that day were like $35. It wasn't a little bit of money. It was like significant money to drive to Veracruz. And then on the way back down again, we had some tolls. And we decided to stop in Tucos, which is a bay system, like a whole bunch of bays along the Pacific coast. And we had a really nice hotel there, but it was far from the ocean. We were in a kind of oceanside town, but it wasn't really that ocean experience that we were looking for. So I thought, I'm going to get in touch with Annie, who had said that she had stayed on this coast before, and she gave us some contacts. By this point, I was starting to feel a little bit sick. I don't know if I ate something in the kayakan that didn't sit well with me, but I wasn't feeling that great. And we got to this very remote seaside spot. It was a beautiful location. And we were planning to stay for 3 nights, but we only stayed for 1. We hardly slept. Like, the crashing waves were actually so loud, but the mosquito net had a lot of holes in it. I got bitten all over the place, and I wasn't feeling great. So we left that town, and we went to Puerto Escondido. And Puerto Escondido, I thought was going to be kind of touristy and stuff. It wasn't that touristy. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of tourists, but it wasn't overwhelming. There weren't a ton of resorts. It was really easy to be in. So we just came back from there. We were there this morning. Puerto Escondido was wonderful. We stayed in a great hotel there, the Hotel Santa Fe. The water was actually pretty calm when we were there, so there wasn't a lot of surfing going on. We were able to swim. We saw a wedding yesterday. It was lovely. So I highly recommend Puerto Escondido for those of you who want to make it to Mexico. And then today we left Puerto Escondido in the morning because we knew we had a big drive up the mountains. It was switchbacks all the way, crazy drive. And we were staying in a nice hotel tonight, and we walked around Oaxaca. It's lovely here. It's very cosmopolitan. And then we saw another wedding. This wedding was more like a really folksy wedding. It was beautiful. A live band. Great. And we've booked an Airbnb for our last 2 nights. And the next couple of days we have to return the car tomorrow, and we'll be wandering around Oaxaca. So anyway, that's the update. Thanks for tuning in.